I do hear somebody, Floyd Schofield Jr., Senior. Who's there? Okay, it's Junior. What up, champ?
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, we
Damn,
doing
did we
good.
wake you? You sound tired. You was taking a nap?
Nah, I kind of got a cold. I came back to Texas and it's freezing.
Oh, man, listen, it's freezing out here in Vegas, bro. Jesus. 50 degrees is freezing to me, but believe me, it gets lower than that out here. It was like 31 the other night. How you doing,
It's like
Senior?
Blessed. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I feel horrible. I feel like it's been maybe a year or two since we've even interviewed, man. Now I feel like I'm a bandwagon fan.
Why would you feel that, brother?
Cause I would have rather kept the relationship going. Now you got this big performance. Now, your name is buzzing with Keyshawn, and now I come. I feel like I wish I would have been there from the beginning, the way we started. But nonetheless, you're here now, and you're making names the way that you said a long time ago when you was on this show. And I think you might have had we had like a kind of a face-off with you and Bill. But you've definitely brought everything you said way back then into fruition, and here you guys are. You signed with a major. Before the major, you went with, Davies Entertainment and made a name for yourselves in Texas. And, man, now it's like only the top from here. I seen in the WBA, I believe you're number 12 or 11.
No, number 10.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah,
it's actually number 9, Floyd.
Okay, you watching it manifest before your eyes. I told you beforehand.
You sure
It's a
did.
good thing. It's a good thing. It's good for boxing. Like the Keyshawn and Floyd thing is good for boxing. Prospects should be fighting. Why they acting like they the champion? We understand the champion picking and choosing. He's the champion. He earned that right. But a prospect, we supposed to all be rocking to get to number 1. And Keyshawn is a silver medalist. So why shouldn't Kid call out the top person he can reach? But it's fun. We love it's good for boxing.
How realistic is a fight like that? And I'll be specific. I know that there was a time in this sport where we used phrases like cross the street or Cold War, but we're starting to see contracts between fighters and promoters be, I guess, open to making cross-promotion fights. Demetrius Andrade revealed that not only was his contract with Dazn structured in that way where he could go to another network if the fight required it, but also now his contract with PBC is the same thing. I don't know your situation, but how do you see a Schofield Jr. and Keyshawn fighting, who Michael Coppinger just announced as Emmanuel to go?
That's up to the fans. The fans is the ones that fill the arenas. The media like yourself, y'all the ones who bring it to the people. The people demand it. Top Rank and Golden Boy work together all the time. It's a no-brainer. If it makes sense to the fans, then they talk loud enough. These promoters is going to put on that fight.
People like to make these situations about money. At this level, is it about the money? Would a promoter in Oscar be willing to send Schofield to Top Rank to potentially lose to a silver medalist, and vice versa? Would they be willing to send their guy that they've invested in? And they've invested in Keyshawn. 7-0,
Right.
and he's already in the top 10. What company do you see willing to take that risk?
Okay. Now, I'm going to answer that question. Well, first thing, we're not losing, so we're not putting that in the universe. We snatching that right back out of there. But I just believe it makes sense because it will make a lot of money. Because social media, with
Even
the media,
right now, you think right now it's a good money fight right now where those promoters will be willing, or you think it still needs building?
No, what I'm saying is it still needs building, but we got to start building. Some of these fights it would take a year because of dates, because of whatever. But if we don't start building, how the hell we going to build a mega fight? I mean, people like, let's say Keyshawn is a businessman, so he gonna want 6 or 7 figures. So the building has to start a while. Floyd and Manny started years before, but it has to start. I mean, they the prospects. They the two that's gonna run into each other. It's a no-brainer. Who else is gonna be the number one? Who else in this division do y'all really believe could keep up with Floyd? And he's young. He don't have his man strength. He's still learning on the job. He's making mistakes like having his head up, not throwing his jab a lot, but he's 20. That's what's supposed to happen at this age. But as he showed the world, he got a steel chin. They're not going to hurt this boy. I seen him fight guys 180 and get hit. So we ain't worried about that, but Keyshawn don't stand a chance. That's me just talking, but he don't. Go ahead, Floyd, what you feel?
What I feel on what?
On Keyshawn. I'm sorry, I done took over your interview and everything.
Don't worry.
I know my throat's sore anyway. True. I feel like, I'm not on the business side, so I can't really answer that question. But
You are on the business side.
Well, no, like I'm just here to fight. Like I don't do none of that other stuff. So I would hope like the fight get made at the end of this year.
Oh wow.
Honest. Because like I can't just keep saying I'm the best, without proving it. And everybody say he the next best prospect. And Devin Haney and all these other guys, like soon I'm gonna have to fight them to prove to everybody, and also prove to myself, that I'm here. So I feel like that'd be a big fight for the end of this year. Because they already got me. I can't say no names, but they already got me. I think my fight after this one fighting the big name. So yeah.
Pardon me for that.
So you saying in one fight you gonna be fighting JoJo Diaz?
No, that ain't.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't say that.
That ain't what we say.
I know you ain't saying it, but you confirmed it with that smile.
He's saying on our side of the street, we got something to choose from. On our side of the street, as they call it. We know JoJo Diaz is there, and I can't say he's a gatekeeper, but he's a good test for us.
An amazing test, and it would be considered a step up for sure. He's a former champion. He's a former Olympian. He's got all the accolades. He beat Tevin Farmer. Tough fight with Gary Russell. He's a dog. I like JoJo Diaz. That is a test to show us, is Schofield the goods? But it's 2 fights from now. We'll go back to your last performance. I did like it. I had Keyshawn here yesterday. Obviously, you guys got a back and forth, so he wasn't as impressed as me. We did kind of have some of the same criticism. I felt like, the only thing I seen wrong was like you ain't use your jab enough. Like you could have easily made that easy, maybe even got the knockout. But I did get super impressed and excited because while you didn't use the jab, you showed us that you can throw power punches for 10 rounds and not get gas. And I doubled down on Keyshawn like, well, you wasn't impressed with it. He didn't get gas. Everything was power. Everything had an angle. Like he was explosive. So you're supposed to use more energy. So he brushed that off by saying at this level, the level he believes you're on and he's on, you guys should not get gassed. That's normal. You shouldn't be getting gassed. But I disagree. I see fighters gas all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, not everybody got, in the gym 24/7. People get gassed at fights. And, he's supposed to say that. And, like, I agree with you because everybody, even my brother who don't know nothing about boxing was like, you should do the jab mode. I'm like, what? So, it was a learning experience.
But wait, hold. No, you got to really tell them, though.
Oh, I mean.
They got to know.
Yeah.
Now, he learned to throw his jab, pushing off his front foot. I hit your neck that hard. Yo, but both of his feet, like go to his Instagram and look, both of his feet was torn open. We just got shoes, we're not going to mention the company, that got to us that day of the fight. It wasn't broken and the sole of both his feet was ripped off. One in the second round and one was like the fifth. So he was fighting without his feet, although he made people think he had feet. So go look at his video right behind the fight. It's only 2 minutes.
So the soles completely came off because we seen that one time and they taped it up.
Both feet, I'm talking about in the fight. The balls of both feet got ripped, and he showed you on the video right there, his feet, the skin peeling off, and the other one is messed up. So he didn't have none of his power. So that wasn't power shots. Go to his Instagram.
Yeah,
check
I was
it
throwing
out.
arm shots that whole fight.
Yeah, so he told me in the second round that my feet burning, and I said, "Fuck them feet." Oh, pardon me, I'm supposed to be get better. Forget them feet. You about to be a champion. You better forget them feet and work. And that's what he was doing. But he was in pain. That's why his hands was dropping and he was getting caught because trying to move while your feet is screaming.
Yeah, I was getting caught with some
Let him
stuff
watch the video.
that I shouldn't have got caught with.
Let him watch the video.
So is it
Where'd he
2
go?
days ago and you're on your bed?
Yeah, he's on his bed, but watch it. It show you.
Okay, let me get a screen share, gentlemen.
You know what was going on with my foot, you know, because I had got these shoes, you know, the same day I didn't get to break them in. So I'm going to just give y'all, you know, a little preview of what I was fighting with, you know, if I can peel this off, you know, because it's going to hurt.
Oh, man, you about to peel the scab off?
So,
No, he got to peel the Band-Aid off.
yeah.
Oh, I
That's
thought that
about
was
as far as I can
skin.
peel it.
So I just put it over this way so they could see it. Well, the skin ripped off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's worse than David Hay.
This one.
What round did you hurt your foot in?
Oh.
That one had blood. Well, that one was the second. I don't even remember what this one was.
Damn.
I turn it to the side.
So what is that? Is that like considered a
So
boil?
that's what you're fighting with. They consider it like a big blister.
That one got blood
Blister.
And
no, not really. But you know, Devin and Keyshawn, if y'all really with it, sign a contract. Besides that, stop playing. We not really with the Twitter fingers because y'all know what's going to happen when we get in that ring. Y'all know what I would do to y'all, especially Devin, because, you know, we already been there before. But Keyshawn, we not really with the Twitter fingers. If you're going to send a contract, send a contract. If you're not, stop. It's crazy.
Whoa, you said especially Devin. We good on that. Yo, I'm going to have to go back. We going to have to talk about that session again. Like, how bad?
Did you watch the beginning? Did you watch the beginning?
Of the video?
The video when Devin and them posted on Floyd in the beginning.
Yeah, it had the tweets on there.
Right, but I want the fans to see that so they know we didn't start this. They came on commenting on his performance, but they didn't know he was in pain. So now go watch the fight and watch him knowing what he's going through. And I believe people seeing greatness in it. A guy who kept his composure at that age and still made it through an experienced fighter while being in pain the whole fight.
Oh, y'all should have seen because you know they say I wasn't a dog and whatnot, but I had got cut in that fight. I got a headbutt, and you know my corner had told me I'm cut. I said, so what? It is what it is.
It's a fight. Keyshawn not ready for us because it's a fight. Keyshawn is a decorated amateur, and that's a great thing. We respect him for that. But it's a difference. We came from a different background. We came from really grimy, trying to grime out the street. He's a fighter by nature. So you ain't going to do nothing to stop him from winning. So Keyshawn not built for that. Keyshawn can't take punches like Floyd. If Floyd had to take a punch. So Keyshawn can say whatever he wants. He's a decorated Olympian and we're a fighter, and we would like to share the ring with him. We would like to help him make 7 figures because he is a businessman. And I really believe they could both make 6 and 7 figures. It's not personal. I respect the brother. I watch him go through the amateurs. Floyd looked up to him. But this is us testing ourselves. I'm building greatness. I need someone like Keyshawn. I need someone like Devin. How else am I going to show he's great? So, you know, we really look forward to those fights because we respect those guys, not because we being disrespectful. Those are the guys around our area, around our weight.
That's his version.
Yeah.
So what's your version?
That I dog each and every one of them. But, you know, only time will tell, you know, because it takes 2 to make the fight. I'm ready to fight, and he sounded like he ready to fight. Now it's just on our teams to make the fight happen.
I mean, I ain't gonna front. There is some exciting fights with those names that you mentioned, but you guys got some business to handle on your side of the street that can probably name you as the better fighter without facing those guys. Because no disrespect to Keyshawn, he's gonna fight Emmanuel to go. I think that the public believes William Cepeda is a tougher fighter. He throws, 1,400 punches a fight? Like, he's on your side of the street.
Right. And we called him out, too. We called out Frank Martin. We called out everybody in this division. Keyshawn just the one who decided to jump in the game talking. We called out every single one of them we want to fight. How am I going to prove he's great if he don't fight these great fighters? It's not disrespectful.
These cross-promotion fights that you want, these are all down the future. Or you think any of these, because now you're saying Martin, and Martin is a big fish with the big fish. I don't see PBC sending them over to you guys.
Until the fans demand it. But unless the media pushing it to the fans that we calling it out, how the fans going to even know to say, yeah, that would be a good fight? Because it's the fans that pay the money. This is business. That's all it is. He's a 1099 and Keyshawn a 1099. They're not signed to... Truthfully, they the businessmen. These people work for them, the promoter. The promoter's supposed to find a fight. We bring in a fight to the promoter and say, let's make it work. Let's make money together. No promoter going to say no if the fan's going to fill up that arena. And if he's a businessman, this is business. We taking it direct to consumer. That's all we doing. This is business. And I believe my guy that I train would destroy them too. Easy. Because they amateur fighters. An amateur don't know how it feel when his face break. An amateur don't know how it feel when his rib break. It's a whole different ball game. So he can sit there and say that, but we got the receipts to breaking people's jaws in the rib and ribs and sparring with bigger gloves. They know that. So they could bluff y'all like they want to fight us. But they know even as a kid before he had a professional fight, he hurt the world champion. So that's what the receipts of it, and they had it on video. And he didn't even have one fight. You think they want to fight him now? He got 13 fights? And he's getting more of his grown man strength? No, they not crazy. They could bluff all they want, but they going to stay away from him. And if they want to fight, send us the contract. If not, on to the next one. Zepeda next up.
That's simple.
Jojo Diaz next up. Somebody, come on. We fighting everybody. And we don't care about a loss. That's the thing. I think that's the thing that messed boxing up. Those fighters care about a loss. We don't care. All the great ones got a loss. To be legendary, you might take a loss because you got to take all the risk. So it's like, I want real boxing to come back. That's what we're doing. They are doing entertainment. They care about a loss. How are you going to be great if you're worrying about a loss?
Y'all got my dad off.
Nah, I'm sorry, but it's not true even with the media. We don't care about a loss. If we take a loss, so the hell what? Everybody have a bad day at work. Everybody. So the thing is, once they take a loss, watching a man come back is the great part. That's what boxing used to be. The stuff we turning it into now, MMA gonna take over, bare knuckle boxing, everything, because we scared to fight each other.
That new slapping thing might take over.
Right, come on, we gotta fight each other if we're gonna say boxing. If you love boxing, what y'all doing? It's the only gateway we have to make it. And that's the only thing some of the ones behind us have to make it. But we playing little pussyfoots and trying to, we don't want to fight this one across the street. Let's fight. Let's put entertainment. Let's bring boxing back. That's the way that we feed our families. But anyway, that's on them if they don't want to fight. We called them. We opened the door. We willing to take the risk. He don't even got his grown man strength. What are they scared for?
So are you not, and I'll go Junior first, are you not physically impressed with Keyshawn at all? Do you literally see him as food, or are you building the fight and you think it will be a tough fight, you just feel you'll win?
Now, don't get me wrong. A fight is only, I always say this, a fight is only tough if you make it tough. And two, I'm not saying Keyshawn a bum. Like, people be getting that mixed up, you know. I'm supposed to say I'm gonna win. I know I'm gonna win. You know, he got mad skill. He wouldn't have got a silver medal in the Olympics if he wasn't a good boxer. But it's different. It's different from boxing and fighting, you know. And I think I proved that this weekend, you know, even, you know, with my foot being like that, I showed I got some boxing skill. My defense, I showed I got power, you know, I can last. So, you know, I just want that fight so bad so I can prove to everybody, like, I'm here. Like, this is my spot right here.
Now, I know.
Like I said.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I thought you was done when you said. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said, like, I'm just waiting for time gonna tell, and you know, hopefully that time come, you know, this year in December.
That'll be good.
He Keyshawn was honest with me. You know, I'm a better, not crazy. I bet for my audience, so I'm doing $1, $2. The most is $5. You know, I mean, the $10 on the most is $10 on a bet. Obviously, I've bet 100 once in a blue, but that's not my thing. I'm not a gambler. I like to bet. I bet the knockout. I thought Keyshawn would knock out Juan Carlos Burgos. He's a common opponent with a lot of people who could not knock him out. But that was the test. Just like Machado. He was a guy that nobody could knock out. But you said you had power. I bet the knockout. I wanted to believe that it was going to continue. He answered this question very honestly. Were you disappointed you didn't get the knockout?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, you know, one, I had told everybody I was going to knock him out. My prediction was I was going to knock him out. But on the other hand, I also am happy, you know, I was the first person to ever put him on the canvas. You know, that's a sign. And then, like, we go back to the original thing. You know, my foot, I couldn't use my jab enough. I was getting caught with punches I shouldn't have got caught with.
On your power.
Like, I gave myself a C that fight. Like, even with, you know, my foot being messed up, like, there's certain things I could have did, but, you know, I was kind of worried about my feet. I kind of brought my hands down. I was getting caught with shots that was dumb. So I'm not happy with my performance, but I'm happy with the outcome.
Okay. That was honest, and he felt the same way about his. He wanted it. He felt disappointed. He even said after leaving the ring, he had his head low, and he had to tell subconsciously, he had to tell himself, raise your head, you won. And he raised his head, but I understand because you guys have a lot you want to prove to the world, so I just wanted to get your honest opinion. Another question I have, obviously, do you think in this calendar year, we're in January, by December, can you get JoJo and Cepeda in the ring, or do you guys not see that physically possible in these next 11 months?
Listen, we've been calling everybody out. Brother, help us. Y'all help us. I'm gonna start calling them out. Put us out there. Shoot, we've been calling them out.
I'm gonna say one of those fights definitely will happen. You know, this year. Can't say which name, but one of those fights should definitely happen
by the end of the year.
Yeah, and then early next year, hopefully the other one can happen.
And it sounds like
truthfully, I want Keyshawn more than Cepeda.
But wouldn't that be crazy? We get all three back to back.
Nah, but Keyshawn to me is the bigger draw because he's a silver medalist. That's something that when it ride on your record, you beat a silver medalist. You know, that's a compliment. Zepeda's a great fighter, but he's not a silver medalist. Mm-hmm. So they got marketing and branding for the future steps because we still try to do things a bit independent. The Keyshawn will be a bigger draw for us in the long run than Cepeda, where Cepeda might be financially a quicker one for us. So that's what I will be caught with, those two measures. Because if we beat Keyshawn, that's going to bring Shakur on out. And now we got that fight. So because sooner or later, Floyd and Shakur going to run into each other for the belts. If none of these other guys knock them down, which I don't see them doing, and I'm not manifesting that, they're not doing that. So it's Floyd and Shakur. So that will lead into that. So I just think from a branding and marketing standpoint, that's how I see it. That's the route I would go. But Cepeda will be a whole different route, but I don't see the championships coming from that route, the JoJo and Cepeda. I can see the championships coming from the Keyshawn and Shakur route because sooner or later, Devin is too big. He's going to need those belts. So truthfully, Floyd and Devin thing is just Floyd and Devin thing. Devin going up to 140. Floyd and Shakur going to have to deal with this. Because Floyd and Shakur and Keyshawn not going to fight each other. So the fans will hope Floyd will be the winner of that so that it could escalate. You know, that's bringing the excitement and the storyline back to boxing what it used to be.
Honestly, I don't think it's as easy as you guys. I feel like if you both continue to look as good as you did, because Keyshawn laughed at me, and I know a lot of other people laughed at me, but honestly, Junior, I seen shades of Tank. People didn't. I feel like I seen shades of Tank because A, it was mostly power punches. B, you was using your feet when you threw those punches. So it was like explosiveness, like you jumping into that shot. It's not just I'm here. It's like I'm coming with all that. And then the stamina, you know, so power, explosiveness, angles. I seen shades of Tank. Do you find that as disrespectful to be compared to Tank? Do you like being compared to Tank? Do you feel your style is similar to Tank?
I mean, with the explosiveness and the power, yeah, for sure. Because my power, it carry out through all the rounds. And now that's a good thing to be compared to Tank because he's knocking everything out right now. So, people can say what they want. Like I said, the time is gonna come where I'm gonna have to prove what I'm saying, and when that time do come, then I want an apology from everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Or we humbly get up and keep moving. You always gotta leave the door open. But y'all gotta remember, he been in camp with Tank twice, so he got to see how Tank moves. It's been like days. It wasn't like no 1 day camp. When we was in the Sean Porter camp, when we went out there with them, Tank was there, and when we was in the Adrian Broner camp, the Robert Easton camp, Tank was there. So he got to see firsthand Tank and how they work. So I would believe some of that would wipe off in his mind as a young fighter, So I could see him being referred because Tank used to be his main fighter. Or which one? No, Tank is his main fighter.
Yeah, right now.
Shakur used to be
till he stepped up to 35.
Right, so.
Okay, so wait, to be clear, you no longer look at Shakur because now he's in your division and he's a potential foe.
Yeah, he can't be my favorite fighter, and we finna clash, in the next 2 years, about hopefully. So it's like I want to get that out of my head. Like I don't respect you, like none of that. Like I respect him as a fighter, great fighter. Like he one of the best. But like you can't be like that. I can't be beating up like my
favorite fighter.
My favorite fighter, my idol, because then I go in the ring like damn.
So he mentally making him his enemy.
Nah, I get it. I get it, but the irony in that is the Tank is still at 35, and you said he's your favorite fighter, no longer Shakur, because he's at 35.
No. Number one, we are going straight at Tank. We went through the WBA for a reason. The regular champion is Tank. We know exactly who we running into. So it don't need to be no bluffing on the Tank thing. We want to fight Tank. We going directly at him. And that will be our way to Devin, whether we got to move up to 140. So we going that route too. So we walking our words. We going directly into Tank. So we don't kid. Tank is our favorite fighter, but it's his favorite fighter because he's studying Tank to beat Tank.
I study him every day. I be watching him every day.
Really?
So Tank. Oh yeah. So and it's no disrespect. Tank is a great fighter. At Floyd age, even if he lost, challenging a Tank, he still win. So it's a win-win for him because people will still see his skill and respect him like, yo, that kid young and he did his thing. So
same thing like Keller Plant.
Right. So it's like, it's a win-win for him. Why not challenge the best while he's young? That's when he's learning. What, we gonna wait till he had his old bad habits as an old boxer? Nah, learn now while you're young. It's easy to heal up while you're young.
Junior, you think that any of the names that you and your father are mentioning, will you be able to manifest those in a timely manner, or do you think it'll end up being a Floyd Mosley situation?
Oh no, it only can be that way if it's on their part. Because like we said, we want to fight everybody and we mean what we say. So, on our part, it's gonna get done. Whether we gotta, beg our promotion team or what, like it's gonna get done. And it all depends on, their team and what they want to do. Because like we want to fight everybody, show we the best. Like, everybody loves a good fight. Like I love fighting. Like that's one thing I love. I love is fighting. So, hopefully their team can get it done right. And like we said, like hopefully by the end of this year, me and Keyshawn will be in that ring. Me and JoJo will be in that ring.
So, Senior, I wanted to give you an opportunity because I asked you, but I don't feel like you answered. Does the contract have any verbiage that would allow Schofield Jr. to make those cross-promotion fights?
No, Oscar's willing to work with any promotion company with him to fight.
Yeah, he told us that.
He told us that, and he said it on media. I mean, we don't have that type of contract. Oscar is riding with us.
No, but that's what I mean. The words that he said, are they in the contract that state, you guys are allowed?
When I do my paperwork, everything is as a man said, because all a man has is his word. So that's how we stand. We say what we mean. I've got business partners that we do a handshake. That's the same thing like the contracts, but the contract's gonna be read just what we saying. It ain't gonna be no extra fluff. It's gonna be exactly what we saying and agreed to because we men. So that's how I do business. And Oscar is 100% for us. He already told us that him and Top Rank got a good relationship, and if they wanted the Keyshawn fight, they could make the Keyshawn fight. So if that's all up to Keyshawn, if he really wanted to fight, we here. If he don't, on to the next one, and we still respect him. Sooner or later, we gonna fight him.
Floyd Jr. secretly in some small crevice in the back of your mind or heart, are you hoping for Ryan to beat your favorite fighter so you don't gotta fight him and then you could just beat the man to beat the man?
Oh no, you talking about Tank?
Talking about Tank.
Oh yeah, you're politically correct.
Like to be honest, it would be crazy to see Tank lose, but in reality, I'll fight both of them because if you want to be realistic, nobody really, nobody really worried about Ryan. Like, come on, so like,
and that's not disrespectful.
No, I'm just saying I would rather have a guy, everybody's so-called fearing and whatnot, like to try and take him out of there. Like that would be a bigger statement than fighting Ryan.
Let me give you an example. Remember the Ali and Sonny Liston? Sonny Liston was the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Ali was the young boy that came out and said, I could beat you. I got more skill than you. And so he was stalking him and everything else like that because he knew within himself he could beat that style.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened to Sonny Liston. So it ain't so far off for him to call out the most dangerous guy and say, I know my style could beat yours. I seen it. So it's like, for the fans, they just got to see it unfold if Tank will take that fight also. I don't think Tank will take it.
The only reason I worded it like that is obviously Ryan is a very big commodity in this sport. He's already on Golden Boy's side of the street. So if he can pull the win off, it's obviously easier for you guys to get that fight on the same side of the street.
Hell no. Well, pardon me. You're messing up my good thing. I was supposed to be meditating. Ryan ain't giving us no fight. You think Ryan gonna really get pretty boy Ryan?
We were supposed to spar Ryan on his camp.
Do you think Ryan gonna give us a fight? Did you see the last guy face? You think Ryan, pretty boy, is really gonna get in there? No disrespect to Ryan, but he know he gonna take some punches. You think he gonna take this hard fight when he could take all them easier fights? And he makes so much money outside of boxing. He don't need the money. He makes so much money on promotions outside of boxing. So you think he's going to take the hardest fight of the division?
Well, the WBA, like, what do they call it?
I think he would drop that belt and move up to 140. He would move up to 140. He would drop that belt and move up to 140. He already said he's going to move up to 140.
Because when he have to fight Frank Martin next, if he won?
If he won, Frank Martin is number 2.
And he said that he's moving up to 140. So it would be Frank Martin and Floyd. And we've been calling out Frank Martin. So it's back to the same thing. We see all the roads that we got to take. It ain't but so many roads in boxing. And you already see what you have, how the card's going to play out. Ryan is moving up to 140. He's going to get that belt, and then he's going to take a big fight at 140 to make more money. He ain't going to take a little fight. And he's going to leave that belt, and Frank Martin and Floyd probably going to fight for it.
But in reality, I'm gonna be politically correct. That's a 50-50 fight. So we'll see if that even happens.
But I think if Tank got the fight, a fight with Tank would be greater on his resume later on in the Hall of Fame than a Frank Martin. And no disrespect to Frank Martin, it's just because who Tank is. Mm-hmm. If he even kept up with Tank to the 12th round, or even if he beat Tank, no matter what side it goes, so nobody says it's disrespectful. It's just exciting for us. It make him a superstar. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see.
I definitely get that because Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Rolly Romero came out of the Tank fights very popular, even in losing. Do you feel that way? Do you think Cruz Jr. and Rolly have bigger names now that they shared the ring with Tank?
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially Rolly. Rolly, he was at the last fights. He dapped me up before I walked out. Like, everybody know Rolly now. Whether it's for him being knocked out or whether it's for him just, keeping up with Tank for a little while. Like, he got popular, so And where Isaac Cruz at anyway?
Isaac is
Here,
number
here.
7 in the WBA, but he's also number 2 in the WBC. But he also already said no to Shakur, and that's why Shakur is fighting Shunshiro.
Oh, wasn't he supposed to fight Prograde?
Wait, isn't he supposed to move up?
Well, he did say that is a fight he'll move up for if the belt's on the line, but that was said over 2 weeks ago. No offers have been sent out that we have gotten reports on.
Who got a belt?
Regis Prograis has the WBC at 140. He beat Cepeda for it.
Well, I thought Josh Taylor had all the belts.
Josh Taylor vacated after he became undisputed. He had to let go a lot of belts because he wanted to show the fans that he really didn't lose the Catterall. So he's done everything in his power. He did everything. He did everything in his power to get that rematch. And then when they set the rematch, he got injured. So, yeah, he only got 1 belt left, man.
Oh, I ain't know none of that. That's crazy.
So, you finish your answer?
Oh, yeah, my answer is done with.
So I'm being told by my little inside Ryan Garcia source that he also doesn't have it in his contract to go to another network, but somehow Showtime and Dazn did come together for that fight, for the Tank fight. So hopefully that can happen for you guys as well.
Yes,
sure.
Of course. We already see that happening. I'm talking about it. The thing about this day and time, social media. All you got to do is make it where the fans want it. Y'all the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all could direct the crowd to a certain place, y'all got to fight. Y'all got to fight. If the whole world asking for this fight, the promoters there.
How many tickets in the arena do you envision for Keyshawn and your son? What arena? What state? Because I know you said this is like a 6-7 figure fight, but I don't know if I don't think Keyshawn has headline yet. Neither Schofield you have in San Antonio with Cameron Davis.
They won't be the headliner. When you're building a fight, you need a bigger name, a little bigger name. That's the main event. They the co-main. You put a show around that area. Now you look at who's selling the most tickets. What fight? It really falls on who's the main event. Where they selling the tickets at, that's where you're going to look at the arena at. And once you get the arena, you get your main event, you clear something with them, how much you're going to make, because you got your investors, even if they charge a mil. So that's $2 million, a mil and a mil. You got your investors that cleared that. You got your investors that rented the arena. Now you go to, Floyd and Keyshawn is the main event. You got to get $100,000 to pay Keyshawn. Floyd could get paid off the back end from the tickets, the concessions, all that other stuff. And then you go to the other smaller fighters. You had them as buy-ons. You don't have to pay them no money. That's money coming to you so that you can use towards what you're doing. So it ain't that hard to put on a fight. That's all the promoters is doing. I mean,
so you think Keyshawn is taking 100,000 though? You think Keyshawn would take 100,000, 7 fights in to fight for like?
No, I'm not saying that's the number. I'm just saying 6 figures. It could be 500,000. It all depends on the promotion. Whoa. How good of a job?
I mean, he's still 7. I mean, but they 7 and 12 fights in. Is they there already?
See, you don't promote that. See, that's the problem. People come with those excuses because both of them been boxing since they was little kids. Both of them got over hundreds of fights in. Both of them. So it ain't like they gotta warm up to nothing. This is a silver medalist. This is a guy who came from the gutter who's saying, yo, give me the opportunity. That's what we have here. We don't have a 7 and 13. If we promote it like that, it never get done. If we promote it like silver medalist, kid from the street, this is the pursuit of happiness. This is here we go. And now we make an event. Now you got an event. So now you find out who's the main event. It's that simple. If we make it too complex, what do this got to do with 7 and 12? Let's go with 300 amateur fights and silver medal, 200 amateur fights, national champion, rated the most outstanding from Golden Gloves, most outstanding fighter ever. So it's like he got his credentials, What are we waiting for? These two decorated people. Let's have a fight. That's corny shit. That 7. Not saying it's corny to you, but people saying that's corny. These dudes got hundreds of fights. They both traveled around the world. They sparred all the champions. What are we talking about? At the time, right now, there's nothing happening in boxing. While this fight could be exciting. This could bring life to it before the other big main events happen. Like, come on now.
It might get it started.
Can I throw a suggestion? Since you're saying you don't believe Keyshawn and your son are the main event, they're the co-main. That's what I'm understanding, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. You know who the main event would be? His big brother. We got to look out for his big brother or it don't make sense.
What, Shakur?
He's a top-ranked fighter. Shakur should be the main event.
Wait, to sell tickets?
No, what I'm saying is if Shakur was the main event and the co-main was his little brother and him, that automatically, them two is like, boom, it already brought a fight, not including the other fights.
But if we're going to sell tickets,
no, we ain't just talking about selling tickets. Number one, it will be sold because that Shakur fighting for whatever he fighting. I think, this would be his second outing or whatever at 135. So people going to want to see then his brother and you, so that it just makes sense. And you trying to make it the fight Shakur, so it makes sense.
The
whole build up.
I was gonna say another main event, but I think I do like your story better. You're right. You keep it all 35 pounders. Shakur could be fighting for a vacant. You guys could be on the undercard for, maybe an interim.
You're building up, so next year or two you have.
So this was my idea. This is my idea. I still think it's valid. I still think just like we planting the seeds now for this super fight and, we want to water it, nourish it, and let it grow. You start with Golden Boy. After this interview, shoot a text to Oscar, Better Beef and Bivol, right? If Bivol applies.
No, we already told Oscar about Keyshawn already.
Oh, yeah.
So he's supposed to be working out with Keyshawn. But the thing, we already told him. He already seen the text. As soon as we got the text, we added him in. It ain't like that with us. We said this the fighter we want. He ain't gonna say, no. Take these.
I get it. But what I'm saying is Top Rank and Golden Boy will be coming together soon to do Better Beef and Bivol for Undisputed. That's Dazn, and that's Top Rank, which gives you the opening to be on that card because Dazn will be some sort of part of that Top Rank Better BF unification for Undisputed with Bivol, who's a, Matchroom Dazn fighter. It may give you an opening there to do a Keyshawn Schofield.
I don't think Keyshawn would come there though. When I gave that to you, I don't think Keyshawn would be into that fight. I think he'll be more on if his brother is the main event because he feel he got to prove something. So we will have the best version of Keyshawn in that fight opposed to another fight where he feel he was uncomfortable or any excuse. We want the best version of him.
Yeah, he would.
So it's up to them. We willing to be on either one, but it will be better for us if we destroy him in front of his brother. And then ask his brother, what's up, you next? And then maybe give Keyshawn his rematch, so that leads to next year. So we got 2 times to beat your brother, and if we do, then let's see the big brother. And so that leads to how much money in 3-4 years we could guarantee in where we can make so many millions. But that's business, but they might not see it my way, but that's what we doing.
I like the plan, though. I definitely like the plan. I actually seen Shakur once ESPN announced that the possibility of To-Go and Keyshawn. Shakur said it's easy work for Keyshawn. How do you break down that fight, Junior? Keyshawn versus Emmanuel To-Go. Last fight out was with Ryan Garcia.
Oh, that's who that is?
Yes.
I was wondering who that was because my dad just showed me a picture of him. We were just talking about before the interview, and I was trying to figure out, he looked familiar. I didn't know that's who Ryan fought. And that Ryan fight, because while I was there, I'll say I'm gonna be honest, that's a decent test for Keyshawn. For real. That's a pretty, because Ryan didn't get him out of there to what, later on? 11?
He didn't get him out. He went the distance.
That was a decent test for Keyshawn. Nah, I'm sorry, I played devil's advocate.
Nah, because I'm saying that's the biggest name Keyshawn fought so far.
That's the biggest name, but that ain't the biggest challenge for Keyshawn.
No, that's not the biggest. I'm saying that's a decent test right now.
Oh, okay. I think as a silver medalist, my opinion, he should have a little bit of a stronger test. He's a silver medalist. How you prove you great? You don't got to get no jump start. You can I
see Keyshawn beating this dude. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
Senior, But Keyshawn still only got 7 fights. This dude got 30,
No, he don't.
35
Listen,
fights.
if you go by that record, Keyshawn got about 300 and something fights. If you add on that 7.
But you
I mean, come on, we got
not getting hit with 8 ounces.
No, but I'm talking about at 14 years old, he was boxing all year. 15 years old, 16 years old, 17, 18, and so on. Keyshawn got years of fighting. That 7-0, it might sound good to the casual fan, but to somebody who know boxing, that been around this young man and know how good he is, he can fight.
I
Why
get
is he
that.
having these pull-ups? He cannot make it to greatness doing that. You are a silver medalist. He got to jump into the fights. He can't sit there and talk his way into the fight.
I mean, but you can't just throw him in there.
Sugar Ray Leonard and all them other ones. By the time they was on their second, third fight, they was having fights. They was like going for the title, like, yo, because they silver medalists. What was the point of winning a medal? It was so that you have the head start.
Oh, I see what you're trying to say.
A head start is a professional. You win the medal, so you have a head start. So you make more money and you get tougher fights, challenges from the beginning. That's why you went to win the Olympics. Otherwise, you might as well just step out and get you your license and become a boxer and fight the cab driver and do little by little by little. What was the purpose of the Olympics? It was a waste of time then. Then you don't need the Olympics.
I say that he's a decent test. I got to go back and watch him, though.
Right.
I got to go back and watch Chicago because I don't remember that fight.
Y'all got to stop playing. I ain't going to disrespect Keyshawn and his talent because I watched the brother grow up. Remember, I'm old. We've been in the amateurs our whole life. I seen Keyshawn grow. We fought his brother twice in the amateurs. One where we got disqualified that we felt we shouldn't have. So we know this family. We ate with them. We sat with the mother in them and ate. So this ain't somebody we don't know. This brother is a dangerous fight. I'm not sitting there acting like it ain't a dangerous fight for my boy. But it's like, come on, let's fight. Let's do what we got to do. I want to see what my boy got. Shit. I want to see him get tested and see what he got. See what I need to work on.
But isn't that this? The same way you want to see Schofield tested, isn't Keyshawn? I mean, he's stepping up to.
Nah, Keyshawn,
my dad saying this.
Style
wise, walk through this
I watched it. Yeah, Keyshawn gonna walk through him style wise.
So he knocks him out.
Keyshawn gonna knock his ass.
Because Ryan couldn't. Remember that Ryan could not cut the ring off. Ryan, this dude kept circling.
Keyshawn would beat Ryan.
See, the thing is,
Keyshawn would beat Ryan easy.
Keyshawn know how to
and that's the thing.
Together.
I know Keyshawn would beat Ryan if they had a fight. So the thing is, we playing games, putting these little things. Put Ryan in front of him. Put somebody like that. Put JoJo Diaz in front of him. Put somebody at top rank. Keyshawn is that good. The thing is, right now, if we could do it that way, do the Floyd Mayweather way, and everybody get a little bit of money and keep going little by little, or he could show his greatness. The brother is great. He's a tough guy.
So what my dad is saying, basically, like, this ain't a test for him because he gonna walk through this guy.
Right, and this ain't gonna make him legendary. I believe he could be a legend if he stopped playing. Whoever got him is a businessman, be a businessman. Do your thing, you could be a legend. But in the meantime, I'm not his daddy. I can't tell him about that. I can only tell my son to become a legend right now. But Keyshawn is way better than that, man. This is just a waste of time.
So it sounds like you feel Keyshawn should have took the Lomachenko route and already been a champion after 3 fights?
Man, Keyshawn got the talent to do that. That's what I'm saying, yes. I'm saying you can put Keyshawn in anybody there except Shakur because he's not going to go in there with Shakur. And Keyshawn is either going to keep up or beat him.
What about Lomachenko?
I believe he will keep up with Lomachenko.
Well, Devin Haney.
If he don't beat Lomachenko, I believe he could keep up with him. Keyshawn is dangerous, man. The boy is a monster. He always been a monster. And he always showed us love at the amateurs, so we're not disrespecting them guys, but I believe my boy could beat him because my boy watched them. He studied them. He was the baby sitting there at the ring like this, watching the Keyshawns and all of them. So this is just a better version of you. He's ahead of his time. He's supposed to be a year or 2 so Keyshawn can make his run. It just happened that this young man that studied Keyshawn and Shakur's and all of them, he just happened to say, I want to be a champion now. But I don't think Keyshawn never fought nobody like Floyd. He never sparred nobody like Floyd. So it's easy to say what Keyshawn think he's going to do because even if he practiced with Crawford not like Floyd. Crawford not creative like Floyd and as young as Floyd. Crawford is an older version, so it's going to be a slower version, a less creative mind version, because he's in his 30s. He's set in his pattern and his ways. So he never fought a person like Floyd. So, it's a tough fight for Keyshawn also.
Was he there when we sparred Shakur?
Nah, he wasn't there. But Shakur, no.
That's what I'm
Shakur
saying.
tell him that it's hard, it's awkward fighting Floyd, and the boy is strong.
He said that to what's his name?
On another interview,
Sergio
he
Mora.
said it himself.
Sergio Mora told us in the fighter meeting what Shakur said.
But
How long has it been since your last sparring with Shakur? Because he's right in Houston, aren't you, in San Antonio?
Man, I was supposed to go out with him when he went to Vegas, and they never even got back to me. He said, "I'll give you the guy number to fly y'all out and everything." They never even got back to me. We got the receipts, so it's like,
But I told him it makes sense. Why would they bring you into his camp? Although Shakur said, "Could you come in my camp and help me get ready?" But his management had to say, "Why would we bring him in your camp? You're moving up to 135, man. This is going to be your competitor." So I think they just the same way I'm thinking. Why would I have him go over there and spar if we know that we're going to have to face him sooner or later? So that's how I believe they came to that realization, just like me.
Got it. Obviously, because you're saying he's going to pick apart a to go, so then I'm assuming you weren't completely sold on his last performance, because if you think he can knock out to go, he should have knocked out Burgos.
Yeah, he had a bad day at work.
I didn't watch his.
You call that a bad day, Floyd?
You talking about who? You talking about?
I'm talking about.
My dad probably don't even remember which one you're talking about.
I'm talking about Keyshawn last fight with Burgos.
And Floyd said his last outing was trash.
I didn't say my last outing was trash.
Not trash, but you said his last outing was the best.
Wait, Floyd Junior. Let me be clear, so you know. So you said you didn't like the last performance of Keyshawn?
No, I was saying to myself.
Oh.
I said I didn't watch the last fight. Like, I'll go in there after this and watch it, and I'll let you know what I think about it. But I didn't see his last fight.
And you neither, Dad?
Yeah, I seen it.
Were you impressed? And I'm just trying to find out, were you impressed enough? Because now you picking him by knockout in the next fight.
Are you asking me, am I impressed with him in general as a whole?
No,
him as an
in that
what he could do, or that one fight.
That one fight.
I seen what he could do. I seen what he could do in certain things. So if you compare what he done in the past to this present moment with a guy that's fight similar, and you watch what he done to two guys that fought similar and did to them, and you compare the performance, this is a lousy ass performance. I watched you knock people out that got the same exact style, same exact build. Maybe his mind wasn't into it. Maybe he was had his ego and believing his own hype. But sometimes men, and because they growing, they can sometimes start patting themselves in the back before they really deserve it. So although they're yelling now, you got to be humble and still commit and still work, still do everything you got to do to make sure you perform for these fans. And I think his performance slack. I think he would give himself a C.
Yeah, I thought he did everything. I thought maybe the guy was just too durable. He just one of those guys that can't get knocked out. I feel like Keyshawn really was active, a lot of combination punches. The dude was just durable. I got a couple more from the people. Lidslow in Decatur, Georgia says, can the fight between you and Keyshawn Davis really happen? For real? I would love to see the Young Bucks get in there once, and, he said once, now and later. That's, of course, if the promotional companies let it happen. Last thing, make sure those feet heal up, fella.
I want to say, if both of us want that fight to happen, that fight's going to happen.
Right.
If both of us really want that fight to happen, it's going to happen sooner or later.
I got James Benitez in Huntsville, Alabama that says, look, I know you want the Keyshawn fight, but it's not happening yet. Let's move strategically, meaning forget Frank, forget Tank, forget Devin. Think Keith Hunter, Mercito Gesta, Abraham Montoya as possible opponents. Long as you keep stepping on shit, they won't hide from you in the future.
No. That's a small thinking person. Now, when you manifest and reach for the stars. You're going to reach the sky. You're going to get above those clouds, even if you fall short. You don't reach for the bottom of the barrel when you're manifesting, because you're going to get exactly what you want. So why take the risk against these other people if the reward is better against these other people? It only makes sense because these are tougher fights, but greater rewards. These other guys to us ain't tough fights, but any fight you could get hit. So you're taking a risk. Are we willing to risk it with these guys? We would beat them, but why risk it if we could fight this person?
Totally.
And he's way tough. Yeah.
So before we wrap up, can you just say how things have changed for you guys, I guess, emotionally and mentally now that you've signed with a major promoter?
I still got to work hard. You know, just because I signed don't mean I made it.
Well, he said what changed.
Oh, I thought he said like basically how I feel. Oh.
No.
You get more attention. I'm starting to realize, you know, you've got cousins now that you never met. And stuff like
cousins you never met.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, you know, everybody asks for something. But besides that, it's a good thing. You know, you actually, you know, get put on bigger platforms now to showcase what you got. And it's just exciting.
So based off some of these answers, it sounds like you were guaranteed 3 fights this year. Is that safe to say? Guaranteed 4?
Yeah, that's what we wanted. That was the biggest thing of going to a promoter. We want 4 fights a year guaranteed. We want to fight. I cannot build the greatest boxer of all time if you don't have fights, if you don't have adversity. You know, he got to face things. So, yes, we want to fight 4 times a year. And we want tough, challenging fights because none of them going to be tough.
I was supposed to be fighting in March and April, so.
Hopefully, but we'll see how that works. We might not have enough time. But we here to
might
fight,
not have enough time for either, or might not have enough time for both.
Because they suspend you. After you win a fight, you suspended by the commissioner for 2 weeks. And it might run into that date or something like that. So that's why I said we might not have enough time. Because and that's 2 weeks if you don't get cut or nothing. If you get cut, then it's like a month or 2, then you're not fighting.
Have you asked? Has he told you? And what's the possibility of Floyd Schofield Jr. on the undercard of Tank and Ryan?
It's a strong possibility. We had some discussions. But
and you feel they're positive.
Yeah, I feel they're positive. It comes down to who's the dancing partner.
Who's the dancing partner for Floyd? Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Who would accept the fight? If it's appealing enough to draw the people there, then of course they would do that. But it's who gonna step up to the plate? We would love 3 promotion companies to work together. Shit, if Keyshawn could get on there and Floyd, that'd be mega, but we know that ain't gonna happen. So maybe somebody on the PBC side. Maybe a Chris Colbert. We would like to face him.
He actually was just announced that he's fighting Rayo Venezuela. The guy that beat Francisco Vargas, but then lost to Edwin De Los Santos.
So if they had somebody over there, we wouldn't have no problem.
That should be a good fight.
Is the JoJo fight big enough to be on that undercard, or is that not it because it's the same side of the street and that is a cross-promotion fight?
I think it's a cross-promotion fight, so I think they would want to get some of their guys that they got a contract with.
Yeah, they want me to fight a PBC fighter most likely.
So it will be a PBC fighter. Probably. I don't know. I don't do that part of it. That's Oscar and them that do that part. But I would think it would be a PBC fighter. So they can hold up their contract to their people.
So, Junior, give me 3 PBC in and around your division that you wouldn't mind being on a Tank undercard versus Ryan with.
That dude you just mentioned who fighting Chris Colbert.
Edwin De Los Santos or Rayo. You mean Rayo? The one that trains with David Benavidez Jr.?
Yeah, and him.
Okay.
Chris Colbert. Who's on PBC?
Yeah, who's on PBC?
Frank Martin, Chris Colbert, Michelle Rivera.
Michelle Rivera, yeah.
All of them.
Edwin De Los Santos, Rayo Venezuela.
We want to fight all of them. So
I think they would probably give me that one that beat Raya because he's in the WBA ranking too.
Yes, De Los Santos. Let me check.
And there's another one, that Corrales dude, that's number 6.
Oh,
that's
Jezreel. He's a former champ.
Yeah, what that matter?
I mean, that looks good. That looks good on the resume when it's a former champ.
Yeah, that's right. That is
so
true.
Edwin De Los Santos is number 10. Schofield, you're number 9. Isaac Cruz, number 7. Jezreel, number 6.
Cruz will be good. Isn't Isaac Cruz over there?
That is a good fight. Bro, that's the perfect dance partner if because like he already fought Tank. He got a fan base, he got that style. You right. Schofield
and since we running into Tank, him being a show what we could do with this guy will lead up to that.
That is it. Fight. I do like that a lot. I do.
But do you think Cruz would take it? He won't take Shakur. You think he's gonna take a Shakur with power?
He picky, man. I ain't gonna front. Ever since he got on his level, he turned picky.
I was disappointed. I thought he was gonna take that Shakur fight.
Me too. And it's an eliminator.
Huh?
He said it's an eliminator. I think he's saving his brand. I think he don't want to take the risk because he's enjoying the life he have for being in that status.
Shakur would outbox. So.
Man, I would love that fight.
So Schofield, since you've been in there with Shakur, how do you beat him? Is it pressure because he's so calm?
Easy.
See,
I can't tell you everything, but easy.
I'm gonna tell you what Sergio Moore told us that he said out his mouth. So basically, he said,
"Wait, hold up. Is you supposed to tell us?"
Yeah, like I can say this because it wasn't confidential. So. Basically, I'm an awkward fighter, and it's hard to try and figure out what you need to do in there. So basically,
he don't know what the hell he did against Kid. He landed, I think, all around this part. He landed one punch.
Around.
He landed
what?
No.
He landed a couple. I would say he didn't land more than 12 punches.
Yeah, because
in the whole sparring.
4 rounds.
4 rounds, yeah.
I could put that on there, and y'all can ask him yourself. Is it hard to hit Floyd? So I can tell y'all.
So
that is fact.
All right, but the $1 million question is: if he only landed 12 punches in 4 rounds, how many did Schofield land?
Oh man,
ask him.
I was hitting arms, elbows.
Ask him. I'm not saying. Listen, we respect everybody that bring us in. So I'm not gonna talk on Shakur like he like Floyd said, Shakur was the hardest sparring he ever did because Shakur is smart. So it was a challenge for Floyd too. And Shakur threw a body shot and Floyd stopped throwing punches, but Floyd still survived. But Floyd was like, "Dad, he caught me in the body. He was a good one. Not like he was hurt, but he was like, yo, that was a good body shot." So I said, "Floyd, use your jab, stay away from him." So he ended up landing that one body shot. So Shakur and Floyd, to me, Shakur just a bigger, older version that don't use switching up as much as Floyd. It's the same style mirroring itself, just Floyd got both sides where Shakur got one. So Floyd had an advantage over Shakur, but then Shakur got the knowledge over Floyd.
And now I'm taller than him now, so like,
yeah, he's bigger than Shakur. Shakur even said he's a big 130. Shakur said it out his mouth to everybody. He like, "How big? What weight you fight at?" He like, "You're a big 130. Oh my God!" So we know what we experienced. No disrespect to him, but he knew Floyd was coming into this division. We know a lot of people gonna run from this division because they've been in gyms with us. They seen Floyd fight. So just because the consumer don't know, the boxers know. That's why they not saying that I'm lying. And most of them running out of this division. They know this young bull is coming and he gonna reign for a long time. They seen him, they sparred him. JoJo know it will be challenging. JoJo know what we did to him in sparring.
They kicked me out their camp.
What?
They paid us to spar their camp, but we couldn't spar the champion because they didn't want to hurt the champion anymore.
Yeah, they kicked. They
They
said
know
I
what
can't
we
spar
did to
no more.
him. So I'll be surprised if he takes this fight. And that ain't shitting on JoJo. That's just
Wait, you just how you gonna get a secret away like that?
No, but what I'm saying is that we've been there, we've done that. So the consumer would say, "Oh, JoJo is a step up." How? We destroyed this guy.
So my devil's advocate is when you say how, there's a lot of professional fighters, trainers that say spawn is spawn. That's how, because what you did in spawn don't mean it's going to happen in the fight with smaller gloves and with the lights and with the people and et cetera, et cetera.
Somebody made that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know they was trying to knock my head off when I was a kid.
No, but somebody was drunk when they made that saying. Just think about it. We got to do it with common sense. These people in Spawn got a headgear and they got 14 or 16 ounce gloves on. In the fight, they don't got no headgear and they got 8 ounce gloves on. So if he hurt and beat up the person with bigger gloves and a headgear, destroying him, you think this person gonna go in there with no headgear and smaller gloves and now a bigger and a better version of what he faced? Nah, common sense says no.
So again, devil's advocate, there's a trainer here in Vegas that says headgear doesn't protect you from getting knocked out. People get knocked out in headgear. The headgear is only for cuts in sparring.
No. And whoever you get that information from, either one.
Don't say nothing.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing. Number one, headgear cover the ears. You get hit in them ears, that knock off your equilibrium. So no matter what you train doing, if them legs ain't functioning with that brain, it's harder to move, things get crazy. That's what the headgear is protecting. It's protecting the side of that brain and also the temple. So what is he talking about? The only thing that it don't protect is the chin. That's why you could get knocked out if they clip the chin. But what about all the rest of the important parts? So they could say what they want. This is science to us. So I don't think JoJo will be so fast taking that fight like y'all think he
would. But
so on to the next one. We might as well call somebody else besides JoJo because maybe one day we will face.
But if they have to,
if they force him,
you gotta get in the ring.
But the thing is, we want to fight somebody who want to fight. We want a live horse.
Oh yeah, so bang it.
We don't want the person that's forced to get there and they shaking. Not saying JoJo would, no disrespect to him. I love the brother. But we want somebody who want to fight you, who said, I could beat that dude. That's what we want. Because that one's going to come and challenge him. And now I can see, what do I need to work on? Is he doing this right? Is he doing that right? Because I'm still developing the greatest boxer of all time. So, JoJo to me got talent, but I think JoJo is on a decline. And I think anybody would agree with that. He's not on the up. He's not like a Frank Martin, so to say, but he's not in his prime. He's going down. Why we want to fight the guy going down? We don't win from that. They'll say, oh, he's going down. This is the old JoJo, the beat up JoJo.
Oh, no, they wouldn't say that.
No, that's what they would say. The fans would say that.
I'm giving credit. You beat JoJo, I'm giving credit. JoJo been in the ring with too many names.
I knocked JoJo out.
If he knocked JoJo out,
I better get all the respect from everybody, man.
Yeah,
what did that do if he knocked JoJo out?
I think he gets respect because JoJo's never been knocked out. He never been knocked out. And I don't even think JoJo's been put down. I don't.
You need to ask about Spawn,
I don't. And truth be told, I feel like Devin did a better job with JoJo, but his fight with Gary, it was like a dog fight. Him and Gary were in the pockets with those front and back hooks. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think JoJo's a dog. Yeah, I agree. From a boxing standpoint, he's on a decline because he had like a rough fight with Rakhimov where somebody thought he lost. Then, he just lost to Cepeda. So I could see the decline, but like your son still never faced a former champion. Even Canelo fought Mosley, you know what I'm saying? Mosley wasn't in his prime when he fought him. It was learning experience, sharing the ring with a former champ and learning from that vet. But I see that you say you feel like you've done that and earned that in sparring.
No, I don't think he's going to take that fight. We could talk about it all day. I don't think he's going to take that fight. If his team took that fight, they don't love him. Because we know what happened in sparring.
Stop it. Yo.
I would not be up here saying it if it ain't real. I never brought nothing.
So let me ask you this. Are you saying that your son is more dangerous than in the eyes of JoJo, he's more dangerous than Gary Russell? More dangerous than Rakhimov, Tevin Farmer?
My son is doing this, and he don't even got his grown man strength.
I'm way more dangerous than Tevin Farmer.
He knocking these guys out of beating these grown men up, breaking their face, and he don't even got grown man strength. You think I'm worrying about these guys that's declining? That's a slower version of themselves? Listen, JoJo now got something to live for. He got a newborn son. He ain't willing to die in that ring when the punches is hurting him. He gonna think about his kid. Y'all forgetting boxing is real. That psyche got a hold up in there when this young boy beating on you. He don't got no kids. All he want to do is be the greatest boxer ever. So how is he gonna stop him when this guy ribs is breaking when he hurting? JoJo gonna think about his kid and say this shit ain't worth it. So y'all can all sit there and act like this. This is fighting, man. These dudes is not gonna. I don't think he would. If he took that dangerous fight, it would be a good fight. But I don't think that would be good for him. That's what I'm saying.
Javier Fortuna doesn't punch.
Who?
That's it. Listen, that's exactly the answer you were supposed to give him.
Funny.
Who? Nothing. Yo, listen.
Oh, the guy that fought Ryan?
I think no.
Yeah, the guy that got clipped with Brian. I'm just saying. Only reason I bring him up. But he's still a former champ, and I bring him up. I bring him up because he gets labeled as awkward, and he's a puncher.
Like you should fight him too?
No, I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should fight him. I'm saying he's labeled as awkward, and he was known as a puncher. JoJo took him on.
His IQ,
JoJo fought him?
His IQ isn't high like Floyd's. His IQ ain't he don't know all 5 styles of boxing just because he switch up and come forward. He probably don't even know his 5 styles. He probably don't even know what his opponent's style is. His opponent uses a counter style for that. So it's a whole different ball game. The IQ is different. This is somebody who was designed just for boxing, opposed to somebody who got into boxing. I'm just trying to look at JoJo's last 5 fights and understand. Ask JoJo, just interview JoJo. Well, that's the easiest way to ask him when he take the fight.
No, because it's you that believes he won't take it. And I'm looking at the last 5, like with these names, what fighter?
Ask him yourself when he take the fight.
Floyd Jr. Floyd Jr.
I'm telling you what I believe.
I'm asking Floyd Jr. This man faced Tevin Farmer, Rockamorph, Fortuna, Haney, and Cepeda all back to back. No breaks. No tune-up in between. How could we say this man gonna say no to you?
I'm not saying he gonna say no to me, but I think he would definitely have a thought in the back of his head where he's like, should we take this fight? And I feel like it would have to be Golden Boy. Like, we already know what's going on with JoJo. Like, I can't.
You're saying Golden Boy would have to force him into this fight?
Yeah, but
so you don't believe he would take this fight either?
I'm saying we already know what's going on with JoJo. We already know what's going down. So like
I don't believe you. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe you to take the fight. I don't know why y'all don't believe me, but that's on y'all.
No,
that's
but
y'all.
The thing is, like, I wish like I could like have that all on film. Like the sparring, it's because my dad's saying it's because of the sparring. Like the sparring was very, like,
it was very bad on his on. It wasn't really bad, but he took some punishment. Both of them took punishment.
Yeah, like where the dad.
But the thing is, he seen a dog. He seen the side of Floyd that most of these people in boxing don't see yet. He never had to bring out his A game like I'm gonna destroy you.
Yeah, JoJo, like he was pressing me. Like I had to get down, and when I got down, it was like
the first day, Floyd kept up with him, but JoJo was getting the best.
Yeah.
JoJo was like on some weird shit. Like he'll look like he fall, and that brother would like automatically zoom and be mad close to you.
And then the
next day, after Floyd adapted to his style from the first day, Floyd destroyed him. They said, we're gonna pay y'all, but we can't have you spar no more because we can't hurt him.
And that was at fight. That was up the Dazn.
And it was filled with the gym. There's a lot of witnesses that was in that gym. And the thing is, he's a bigger version now and a stronger version. I think JoJo would say to himself, why would I do that if I could get a payday with an easier fight? I think he's wise enough to say that. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to him. He's not no coward. But I think he would take a safer fight. He got a child.
But I agree with you, though. I feel like that is a great, step up fight, especially in people's eyes where it'd be like, okay, he fought a name. Now it's on to a bigger one.
But it's not a step up for us. It's not. That's why I'm just being honest with y'all. It's not a step up for us.
Well, I would love to see it. JoJo's certainly never been knocked out. He's a former champ. It seems like natural progression, but obviously if you're going to go the Guillermo Rigondeaux and Lomachenko and Keyshawn Davis route, then yeah, you got to skip a few positions and some of these guys aren't, worthy of a shot. But if
The
you
thing
can't,
is-
if you can't get a fight, Schofield, JoJo is a word. You know, if they can't get you something that you like, that you're excited about, revisit that JoJo fight, man, because that's a nice fight. That's a good. It's a decent name too.
That JoJo fight, I want that fight, especially like in the next couple fights.
Good.
I like that fight.
Hopefully he changes his mind from here to the end of the year, because Dad don't seem to think we getting it.
Y'all know my
Not
pops already.
no JoJo. Not no JoJo. I would rather fight the champion. I'm ready to get to Shakur. I'm ready to get to them belts so Floyd can move up to 140 and get the belts at 140. So that's his goal, and he's young, growing. So it's like his goal is to be undisputed champ in 4 division. As a coach and manager, how you make him manifest that. So right now he needs to be going towards the champion to get those belts, so he can move up and then go towards Devin and them for those belts.
So
That's our goal.
We had asked Keyshawn the same question. Hypothetically, if everything happens the way it's supposed to, I'm not saying this is supposed to happen. This is now my prediction. I do believe Devin beats Vasil, moves up, vacates. Who does Schofield fight for that WBA? Because that's where you're ranked at.
Tank.
Tank.
You think he
He
stays
most likely-
there? You think he stays there?
Let me ask you something. Who's gonna beat Tank but Shakur? And Shakur right now got to live up to that. If Tank beat him to that belt, Tank ain't gonna give him that shot that fast. He's gonna do it, but not that fast. So I think we will run into Tank because we'll be the mandatory on one of them. So
Or whoever pick
or we
up
would
all
get
the
the
belts.
regular belt, one or the other. But because the regular belt would become open to Floyd and Frank Martin, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, you know,
I
that's
forgot
what we
they had
running.
a super belt.
Right. So we heading for that belt.
So you see him fighting for either Tank as a champion already, facing the champion for the belt, or facing Frank Martin for the regular belt.
Yeah, and then facing Tank for the other belts.
Who do you see Shakur facing for the vacant WBC? Because remember, Devin moves up, all of them are vacant.
Who? I don't even know who ranked in the WBC.
Vasil is
Yeah.
number 1, but he'll be facing Devin, so he'll get dropped. Isaac is number 2. He already said no to Shakur, so Shakur, number 3, moved on. Offered it to Zepeda, who said no. And now he's fighting the Chinese guy, Shoshino. So George Kambosos is there, Jermaine Ortiz is there, Jeremiah Nakatilia is there, Frank Martin is number 9, Edwin De Los Santos number 10, Jojo Diaz 11, Maxie Hughes 12.
It's nobody there. It's nobody there.
Frank
Sorry to
Martin
say
and
that.
what's his name? Jermaine Ortiz were the best 2 out of all of them. But
There's
that-
nobody there. He's just gonna
WBC
walk
ain't
into
got
the-
nobody up in
right.
there.
So Shakur is
Ain't
gonna
hear
get those.
nobody up here.
We know Shakur gonna get all them other belts. So we're gonna have to.
You
face
don't think
Shakur.
Jermaine will fight him?
I don't think Jermaine gonna beat Shakur.
Okay.
I
Jermaine
think-
kind of nice.
I know Jermaine is nice, but I don't think none of them gonna be Shakur, and I think Shakur gonna get all them belts except the one you got, and y'all gonna fight, and that's gonna be a mega fight. If
Have
it's
you-
built right, but Shakur got to do his part.
Have y'all sparred, Jermaine?
I just found out about him after the
Lomachenko fight?
Lomachenko.
Any interest
And then
in
I
working
looked
with
up
him?
him.
Or because
Oh,
he's
for
in,
sure.
even though he's in the division, you're still willing to work with him?
I
With
mean,
who?
Ortiz. Like that would be some great sparring right there. It's like, hey,
Why? Because you want to fight him? That's what you're saying? We don't usually fight our sparring partners. So if he was our sparring partner, we would never give him a fight.
I mean,
Well, then,
Shakur's
no,
your
that's
sparring
right.
partner, and Devin was your sparring partner.
I'm talking about now. We wouldn't do that because now he's on their level and they can have cameras. They could do anything to try to get the upper hand and learn stuff. So now we would have to strategically, like, because when they asked us to come back to Devin Camp, we said no because of that. Because they did. Bill called us back to go after that. Even in the midst of all that other stuff. And Shakur called us back. We said no because they're not division. So right now, no, we wouldn't spar. We wouldn't get them a fight if they was our sparring partner.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it
But
up.
they
Right.
got the belt.
They got the belt.
They got the belt, so we had no choice but to go to them.
They do. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. I do appreciate you guys coming on. This has been a fantastic interview. Hope we made some waves and we get some of the attention of some of the people we were talking about here, specifically William Cepeda and JoJo, who are on your side of the street. We're going to continue to push for that because I believe once you beat those guys, the Frank Martins and everybody else, they can't deny you. You know, Frank Martin is a name now because he beat Michelle. Michelle had put in the work. Martin took out Michelle, so he gets that reward. And I think it would be the same. You know, JoJo's put in work, and William Cepeda just made a big name for himself off of beating JoJo in the fashion. Did you watch the fight, Senior? Because you ain't impressed by Cepeda. I can see your face.
No, Cepeda a good fighter. I told Floyd we called Cepeda out. We want to fight him. He's a good fighter. He throw a million punches. That's a great fight. It ain't like we didn't call him.
Is that a fight that you would request VADA for? I ain't gonna front. I'm just saying 1,500 punches is 1,500 punches.
Any of these big fights like this, any of these six-figure fights, yeah, they gotta have that. We want to know that y'all on the same level we on that. You're just working hard naturally.
All right.
But Cepeda wasn't last. And you can make that clickbait because it's the truth. He wasn't last. He throw too many punches, and the easiest time to hit somebody is when they throw a punch. And so he throwing too many, so it's always open against somebody.
He did in the later rounds when he was getting a little fatigued. JoJo was catching him more.
Yeah, he too many openings. He's too fast. You will break him down. So Cepeda ain't a threat to us. So that ain't no threat when they call his name.
But he did break a record, so you gotta give him credit.
Yes. Nah, give him credit. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. But I'm raising the greatest boxer of all time. It's levels. And the thing is, some of these fighters grew up as amateur fighters. He grew up as a professional fighter. His whole life was to be a professional fighter, not an amateur. So that guy will destroy him. He throw too many. He don't know to keep his hands by his face.
Well, can you guys give out your social media? Each of you, for those following us that aren't following you, can definitely do so.
Kid_Austin1 is my Instagram. That's really all I use. Like,
and
so they got.
What about you, Dad?
Yeah. That's it. I don't do the social media thing, but one thing I wanted to say is all the fighters we mentioned out of respect because these guys is talented, and we feel they need the light too, and we can all bring light to each other if we have these fights.
For sure. Fantastic interview. I love that you guys are very outspoken. We can't wait to get you back on. Shoot me a DM when you're ready to announce something so we can get you on the show, man. We appreciate you for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Both Floyd Schofield Jr. and Senior. YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.